Is home buying hard? That's the question I get all the time. Watch this video and decide for yourself. Hi, I'm Amol Heda with Keller Williams Bay Area Estates and author of Thriving Through Ownership. So when people start thinking about buying a home, they just think that it's very difficult. You just cannot buy one, and they think the task is unsurmountable, meaning you cannot get over it. And the more you read on the internet, the more you keep getting confused. So watch this video and let me simplify some of that thought for you. I landed here in the US in 99, and in October 2000, I bought my first condo with barely $25,000 down. Watch my other videos where I talk about this journey. The interest rates were 8.25 at the time. Because I had hardly any down payment, I paid $293 in PMI. But I just wanted my home, and so I put it together. Guess what? All the time, whenever I'm working with a client, if the client shows a strong desire to make it into their home, I'm always here to help, handhold, and walk them into their home. What do I mean by that? If I could buy my first home with just $25,000 within 1 year of, or maybe 1.5 years of landing here in the US, you can do it too. I know you're going to think the interest rates are crazy, 7.5%. Yeah, but when I bought them, my home, the interest rate was 8.25. How could I even have put it together? Not just that, almost $300 PMI. Not just that, we even had an HOA of $318. So guess how I put it together. There are some very simple things about home buying, and that's how you should think about putting together. The moment you have some income on your name and at least 680 credit score, I mean, there are ways you can even circumvent the 680 credit score, but that's conventional wisdom. 5, 10, 15 or 20% down payment, just go walk into a realtor who can help you structure how to get into your home. Now, why am I saying that it's very easy? This is all the financial requirement that you need to buy the home. Even if it is $1 million property, do you think you can find $50,000 today to buy a home? If you have your income, if you have $50,000 and a decent enough credit score, there are several lenders that will help you walk into your home. So the biggest and the toughest question about being able to finance your home is out. And if you still have questions, reach out to me or whoever you think is qualified to help you with that. So that's the financial part. Now the next part. The biggest question most people ask about home buying is, I want to live in my dream home when I buy. My standards are such that I cannot agree to going and buying something trivial or a compromise. I completely get it. After your marriage and your kids, your home is your biggest decision. You are going to live in it, you are going to have your family grow into it, enjoy it, and thrive. So, I completely understand that you want to buy the best for yourself. But that's your biggest hurdle. So the way to think about it is, if you have a certain budget And if you can do with certain minimum requirements, just go address those minimum requirements, get into whatever best you can in that situation. Once you get into that home, say you have a family with one kid and you want one additional bedroom, 3-bedroom should work. No point looking at a 4 or a 5 or 6-bedroom house. I completely get bigger is better, the newer the properties, it works very well. People think new is maintenance free. I don't think any of these things. I just want to get into a home. Because the sooner you get into a home, the faster you start building equity. The appreciation will get into your pocket, and you will also keep paying the mortgage down. With those two numbers, you will start building equity fast enough that if you really wanted your dream home, you could get into that next one. In terms of the process, we have very, very good processes. So the first thing is very simple. You identify your fundamental needs, work with an agent, and identify what will work for you, and start looking at your property. I always recommend to people that go out and see as many properties as you can, because there will be some that the pictures will tell you a different story, and there will be others that when you see them, you will not even want to enter the property. So when an agent like me works with you, I come to know your tolerances, your likings, your dislikes, and what will work the best for you. So the home ownership design is in 3 steps: budget or financing, criteria based on your family profile or household profile, how many members, what are their needs, how are they structured, what is the social life like, will you need a backyard, will you need a bigger living room, will you need a smaller living room or a huge kitchen or a master bedroom, and things like that. So that's the preferences part. And the third is when you actually go out, you will see whether you like the property or not. But before you do all of this, the most important things that you should remember is to find the right distance that you want to be away from. So from work, if you're going to take 3 hours, 8 hours will be work, 3 hours to go to work, 3 hours to come back from work. What will remain of you when you get back at home? Just a fried potato. So I'm just giving an extreme example, but there could be intermediate situations, so you need to figure out that. Second, a lot of people put emphasis on schooling. So try to figure out what kind of schooling you want to go to. So proximity, where you live, what you know about the area, and then what do you want to do about schooling. And that should be it. So do you think home buying is complicated? Wait until I tell you the process. So you'll start seeing properties. You'll start narrowing down what exactly you want. Once you have narrowed down something, work with your agent to get the disclosures, the comparables as to what you should offer. They are the best. They will get you your numbers as to what is the right number guidance to be able to offer on a property. And then once you have offered on the property, you go and let the agent negotiate your number. Once that's done, if you get the property, hey, that's awesome news. The next is get to the bottom of the best financing options in terms of the interest rates, in terms of the down payment, and in terms of what you want to do as a term, like 7-year, 5-year, 10-year, or 30 years fixed. And once you finalize that, the next step is to order inspections, your own inspections. It's mandatory literally that you should order your own inspections. Do you ever buy a car without getting your own inspection, even though the seller has a report from Carfax? No. You'll take it to your mechanic and you'll say, okay, let me figure out what's wrong or right with this car. So that's the same thing. You could write an offer with contingencies, and the typical contingencies for a first-time home buyer are mortgage, appraisal, both are related to mortgage. If the value of the property doesn't come to the price that you're offering, you might need to bring in more down payment and such. And property condition contingency. There are lots of other contingencies like the preliminary title report contingency. If there is an HOA, there could be an HOA docs contingency, because a lot of HOAs these days have other issues like rental regulations, ability to get HOA financing, how much rentals are in the proper complex and such, because that restricts whether you can rent the property out or not. So all that comes in. Once you remove the contingencies, so having contingencies gives you the right to buy the property, not you bought the property. You got a right to buy the property when your offer gets accepted. When you remove the contingencies, you are supposed to buy the property. If after removing contingencies, you back out with no satisfactory reason, or even with any reason, once you have removed the contingencies, you will not be able to back out without loss of your deposit. And of course, this is a legal question, so your agent will be able to navigate you through that. And once that's over, the lender starts the underwriting process. Once it goes through the underwriting process and they approve it, your loan is final. That's when you bring in the 17% if you are doing 20% down payment loan, or if you are doing a 5% down payment loan, you will bring in only 2% for closing, plus the closing costs. So this is the overall process. Once you are working with a professional agent, a realtor, you should not have any of this thing to worry about. If you think this is difficult, feel free to reach out and you will be able to work with an agent, a professional that will walk you through this and make it easy for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.